I think it was a week or I think it was 2 weeks ago. The anniversary of your match with Bret Hart on Nitro just passed. February 15th.
It was, yep.
1999.
It was February, yep.
Where was it?
It was in Tampa, Florida, at the Tampa, like the fairgrounds and the Armory or something. It was about a 5,000 seater. It wasn't a big, hockey basketball arena.
And Nitro in 99 still doing okay.
Still doing okay. It's before they changed the logo to the pointy logo.
God, I never liked that logo.
Me neither. Nobody liked that WCW logo. But yeah, that was absolutely nuts. I got to
think about this. You wrestled Bret Hart.
It's stupid.
And you're already a massive wrestling fan.
Yeah.
We're not just going to throw you in there for like a comedy bit, which you have done.
Yep.
But no, you're going to wrestle arguably the greatest wrestler of all time.
In my opinion, the greatest in-ring performer of all time, or just let's call it like it is, the greatest pro wrestler of all time. Because, I've said this about that match, that Bret could have a match with, a 300-pound bag of rice, which he did on that night. And for those who don't know what the hell we're talking about, when I was on this television program, Mad TV, we concocted this feud that happened between Bret and I over a year or two from two different seasons and he gets mad at me. He attacks me. It was all, cooked up. And then all of a sudden it turns into a wrestling storyline where I'm going to be, it is an homage sort of to the Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler thing. And Bret was so game and it was great. But Bret is also so old school that it's like, we're doing the match, fly to Tampa. A couple of my buddies flew out to see it because they're like, we're not going to miss this.
Yeah.
And we go out to a bar the night before and we're all in the same car along with Brian Hart, no relation, writer, executive producer at Mad TV, also a huge wrestling fan, made this whole thing happen. It was Brian who was like, I think, let's get Bret on the show and I got a sketch for him. And then what if we did this? It was Brian was the guy behind this whole thing. And we go into this bar and the night before and Bret's like, okay, I'm going to go in first and then you guys, you can come in later. And my buddies are like, no, we want to go in with you. Okay. So you guys and Brian, you come in with me and then Will just wait a half hour and then come in and don't sit near me. And I was like, come on, he's like, no. The match is tomorrow. I don't want. So we kayfabed it. I go into this bar that is also where Bret Hart is. So people were coming up to me like, who are following this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm on TV. I'm on like entertainment magazine outlets going, no, I'm going to sue the fucking guy. He attacked me on Mad TV. I'm like talking to Access Hollywood going, I'm suing him.
And it looked legit.
It looked legit. He hit me with a chair.
Yes.
And he goes, how hard should I hit you with the chair? And in order so that it would look gnarly on TV, I said to the excellence of execution, go ahead, Bret, hit me as hard as you can. You can't hurt me. Because I really wanted him to hit me.
Yeah.
I had raised welts on my back for like a couple weeks.
Because it wasn't a steel chair.
No, it was one of those, it was a stingy, it was like a steel framed with the plastic.
Yeah.
So it was probably better than getting hit with a real steel chair. But it was still there was a lot of apparatus there to raise and split your skin. And then I had an alligator pad on my knee and leg, and he starts wailing on my knee, and then he puts me in the sharpshooter, and I'm screaming. And so the leg was, and Bret never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Taking a thing to your back, even that, it's like, this is a surface thing, and I pissed him off, so he did it. And then we get to this thing and cut to me in a bar with people going, you know who's right over there? Bret Hart's over there. I'm like, no. What? Oh, holy shit. And then we got a match the next day. Come on. We're doing this. We're doing the thing. But crazy for him to be like, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do it.
What a great Bret.
We were talking on the flight about the match, and I didn't know. I was like, well, what are we going to do? What should we ask him to do and this and that? And Brian, again, the mastermind behind this whole thing, he goes, he knew what he wanted from the match. We show up, Bret's like, because also it's like, we know what the segment is. And of course, Bret's going to go over. The match isn't going to be all that long. 8 minutes, 5-minute match, commercial to commercial and, intros and outro. And then
Curtain.
yeah, curtain 8 minutes. So he goes, so he's like, so what do you want to do? You want to do like a cheap shot or something? And Brian's like, here's what we want to do. The match starts and you beat the shit out of Will the whole time leisurely. And Bret was like, all right. Because we hate, as wrestling fans, when like Jay Leno has Hulk Hogan in a headlock. Like that is, and to me, it's like, it's the two hand, there's two sides to it. Anytime I've been fortunate enough to go on the program and do a bit with like Stone Cold, or we did a thing with Kane years back, and you get the shit kicked out of you. The other part of me is like, I'm a wrestling fan. I don't want to see, like, I don't care to see, the guy from, this or that, knocking out so-and-so or getting a leg up on the wrestlers. It should look like you go in the ring, you do a bit or whatever, but then when your goose is cooked, your goose is cooked, and you should get chokeslammed by Kane or stunned by Steve Austin and, like catch the stunner and this was a bad idea for you to do this. Wrestling should be on top. And I feel like with some of the celebrities,